Techie. Welcome and welcome back to kaetalkstech. I'm Kay. Let's talk tech. So, is it the beginning of the end? We've been saying, or I've been saying, AI is coming, but AI is here and it's being reflected in the big tech companies. Now, I don't want you to lose your stuff just yet because it takes a while for whatever the big tech companies do to proliferate, I guess, throughout the rest of industry. And all of the big boys will hop on it immediately, for sure. So let's talk about what's going on in the tech industry. There's a lot of layoffs. So yesterday I was looking at TechCrunch. They have a comprehensive list of 2025 tech layoffs, right? They quote a website called layoffs.fyi that says there's been over 61,300 layoffs in 130 companies so far in 2025. The biggest names doing all these tech firings, if you haven't heard, Google, Microsoft, Amazon. You can go to either layoffs.fyi or TechCrunch. If you're in tech and you don't know TechCrunch, you should know them because that's one of our sites. That's as a techie, that's one of the sites you should be checking every so often. But they have a comprehensive list. Excuse me. They don't have their June numbers yet, but for each month of the year, they have all the companies that have laid people off and how many they've laid off. I don't want to read you all these companies. If you're interested in that, you can see it for yourself. But I will tell you, in May, there was over 10,000. In April, over 24,000. In March, almost 9,000. In February, over 16,000. And in January, over 2,400. All of that adds up to over 61,000. I don't know if the June numbers any of the June numbers are included in that or not, but it's been more than 130 companies that have done this, and the sectors affected are cloud computing, advertising, HR, software engineering, and sales. So yeah, it has begun. What can you do to protect yourself? Save as much money as possible. That's really all you can do. I just don't know what the heck we as a people are doing in this country. We need a revolution of the mind. I'm not talking about going out and having warfare, but maybe some financial warfare would be in order if we could just stop being mesmerized by other people and pointing out their shortcomings. We might actually be able to change things so that we can all have a great life. Not some of us, all of us, right? Because this is divide and conquer. That is what's happened, right? Our politics have their fingers all over this economy and all over our social constructs, and it has to stop if we want to survive. Do you know how powerful Americans are if we come together just to fix our own house? Every person should be able to eat every day. Every person should have a decent place to live. If this is the richest company in the world, then country in the world, well, it's run like a company, right? If this is the richest land in the world, then we shouldn't have all these problems. And it's because that one set of people wants to look down on another set of people and say you work and slave your whole life and then, retire with nothing. And I don't care if you eat or not. And I don't care if you're homeless or not. And if you feel that way about any other person, no matter who they are, you're part of the problem and you need to change your thought. Now, when I was talking about it just now, I was talking about the 1% versus us 99%, right? But I'm very, very aware that some of us in that 99 have that same sort of perspective. And as long as you keep that perspective, we cannot prosper as a people, because your fate in this year of karma, and you see the karma happening, you see skeletons coming out of closets everywhere. We see how the mighty falls, but karma doesn't affect just the mighty, okay? It affects the people in the middle too. So your fate is tied to the person that you look down on the most. Solve that problem and you'll solve all the societal ills. You need to work hard. Okay, but are you giving people a chance to work for fair wages? We need to change our system too. And I don't know if it is what I hear some of the politicians saying. I don't even want to give it I don't even want to name it, but I just want to have good old common sense. Let's call it that. Good old common sense, right? So we have enough money in this country to take care of every citizen in this country. Citizens should get some protections. Why keep sending your best jobs overseas or bringing people here to fill them? That's what happens in tech, and the bottom is now falling out because everybody's going to be replaced with robots, okay? So why don't we push our legislators to change that? Why don't we push our industries to change that? We can come up with guidelines and metrics and percentages. We can say that, none of the jobs can be filled in another country if you have American revenue sources. That'll solve it right there. And companies will cry and complain, oh, we're not making as much profit as we could. So what? You're still doing all right. Oh, we only made 10 billion, but we could have made 40. You know what? Go ahead and leave that 30 billion on the table so everybody can eat. I don't care. When you're making billions of dollars, I'm not going to hear you lamenting that you didn't make more billions, okay? There's space in the universe for everybody, but stop being so greedy. I'm never ever going to forget that company that canceled my account after, on another platform, after I talked about how they had $1 trillion valuation, but they closed 200 jobs in the U.S. and reopened them in Mexico and India as a cost-saving measure. There's a lot of things here that have to change, and I'm going to give you my complete list of ideas on what we could do to save ourselves in another video. But in this video, these layoffs are here. They're going to increase. Yet some people will still work, so you can't throw in the towel. You gotta grind. That's what you gotta do. You gotta stand out, right? And you have to change your mindset. We have to work for the good of everybody, okay? And when we do that, of every citizen deserves the protection of a decent job. Okay, that's it. That's all I have for you for now, for today. Go to TechCrunch and go to layoffs.fyi to get more details if you want to. There's no sponsorship here. There's just, though I should start thinking about that. In any event, like the video, share the video, follow the channel, go to kaetalkstech.com and figure out what you want to be coached on and contact me there. And then come back here when we will continue to talk tech. Bye.